Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Career Mode. We have our Arm 1 ship docked with an Asteroid, one of these big Class E suckers. And so, it is now time to see what we can do about getting this thing into some kind of a capture around Kerbin. You know, a situation here. So here's the Arm 1 ship docked with an Asteroid. There's the Kerbin system. And Kerbin encounter is in 7 days and 2 hours. And that's all fine and dandy, but I propose not to wait that long. The reason being is if I bring up my flight stats, and yes, I've got the Blitzy 78 toolbar in, which makes it kind of handy. I can bring up specific windows that I want when I need them and then get rid of them quickly and easily. I don't have to futz with the side menu. I should probably look into turning that off, as long as I've got these buttons. And anyway, but anyhow, the main point is, I've got, with this asteroid attached, I've got 94 meters per second in delta V available. And so, with 94 meters per second in delta V available, because of the mass of the asteroid, we've got total mass here 886 tons. And the ship accounts for maybe 65 or 70 tons at the most. The rest of it is the asteroid. So, I'm going to pop a maneuver node down, well, farther away than that. About an hour and 47, that's good. And if need be, I can push that out farther. Now, one of the nice things about this precise node, okay, just remember 94 meters per second, turn that off, is I can focus the view on Kerbin, which shows me the track the asteroid and ship will take on its way through the Kerbin system. And right now, the periapsis is 30,000 kilometers. So what I need to do is see how much I can help change that from here. Let's see. Let's put a little outward on there. Okay, what has this done for us? Down to 23,000. It's only 35 meters a second because of how far out we are here. Down to 19,000. Let's throw a little bit of normal on there. Down to 14,000. 13,000. Down to 11,000. Down to 9,000. Alright. I don't have any illusions that I'm going to be able to get this to go into an orbit, but what I want to do is reduce the periapsis enough that this thing will aerobrake. And I know that with only 94 meters per second, I'm not going to be able to do it on this burn. But I propose to get as much done as I can on this flight with this ship, and then launch another one to come out here and apply some more. So let's see. 8,000. Got it down to 7,000. Whoops. Just watching my total delta V number and adding to it until it gets up to 94. Whoops. All right. Okay, for 94 meters a second, I can turn this into a 4,927 kilometer orbit, which will put it here, well inside the orbit of the moon. And so I propose to go ahead and do this burn in about an hour and 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and set the alarm for that. And let's see. Estimated burn time, obviously it doesn't have one. I'm going to go ahead and set a 10-minute alarm. I don't think it'll take that long because this is not exactly a atomic engine on here. So, all right, now with the alarm set, flip out here. Whoa, back off from that. And let us release the claw. All right, now some thrusters on. Let's just use docking mode for this. And back away. And what I'm going to try to do here is move the ship around the asteroid. Let's see, target center of mass. And arrange for this pink marker and the blue navigation marker to be overlapped right here at the center of the nav ball. So, backing away, let's get some chase camera going on here so that I've got the right view. All right. All right, now, okay. Now I just need to thrust over this way. And then as I get over there, rotate the ship around and try to get this pink marker and the node marker both at the center of the nav ball. And once they are, redock with the asteroid. It's going to make a whole lot more sense than this ship trying to move an 800 ton. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. This ship is 39 tons, and the ship and asteroid together are like almost 900 tons. You know, so this little ship with its little thrusters is not going to really be able to do a whole lot for moving, rotating that asteroid. It's just not got enough going on to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and for the sake of sanity, I will either make a cut or speed up the video. All right. I'm on my approach. I've got the ship lined up with the maneuver node, and the maneuver node and the center of mass on the asteroid are now lined up, along with the yellow marker that indicates prograde. So I am about to redock with this thing while being lined up with my intended maneuver. Okay, there's a shadow. Looks like we're right dead on for center of mass and maneuver node. Just let this thing drift in at a nice gentle 0.3 meters per second. Ready with the scroll wheel to zoom out real fast because that center of mass is going to go inside the asteroid. Almost ready. And we have docking. All right, we are now lined up and ready for the maneuver node. Now, it's scheduled for an hour and 32 minutes, but you know something? I'm not going to wait. because the sooner we apply thrust, the better effect we'll have. So, bring up my flight stats. 94 meters per second in delta V is the important number. We're lined up, and so let's just start the main engines, get out of docking mode, crank up the main engine, and let's do this thing. All right. And cut thrust. And okay, crap, we are drifting all over the place. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Okay, first thought is I needed to not use full thrust. This is obvious. I'm going to release, back off, and try again. Hello. SAS off, thrusters off. Okay, now let's release again. And I'm really hoping that I haven't set up a I think I've set up a rotation on this asteroid. Oh crap, the sucker is rotating. Alright, it may be cheaty, but I'm going to see if the time warp trick will fix it. Apparently it has. Okay. I am now going to get realigned and dock again. Alright, I've managed to redock with it. And I'm mostly lined up, but not quite, as you can see. So, make sure we've got control from here. I'm going to free the pivot, turn the RCS off, and just use reaction wheels to pivot the ship so that we're lined up on the center of mass. Alright, perhaps I have to use thrusters for that. Well, it would help if I turned that off. Alright, we're on the center of mass, so let's begin thrusting slowly. We're mostly on the center of mass. See how much of this we can burn. And I'm just gonna keep it low thrust. Hopefully this will be enough to keep us under control. We're going about minimum thrust here. I'm not seeing any change in the maneuver velocity. Okay, it's happening, but it's really, really slow. But if I go to full thrust and use full power of the engine, it's gonna take this thing into another spin, because that's not dead center on dead lined up on the center of mass. Perhaps I could use the engine gimbal. To a degree to keep it lined up without burning up all my RCS. This burn, regardless, is going to take a while. So I'm going to babysit this, and I'll be back when the thing has run out of fuel. Okay, a quick update here. I had gotten a little bit of progress. I stopped the engine, freed the pivot, and got the ship more properly lined up on the center of mass. It's off from the maneuver node a little bit, but I'm going to call that okay. And I am now able to run 20% thrust while the SAS is using the engine gimbal to keep the thing centered. It is, however, going to be a really long burn, regardless of what it says here. Okay. The thing was starting to drift far enough off the maneuver node that there was no point in trying to get back on track. It just keep burning. Okay, cut engines. That number is now getting bigger. What I've been doing is just tracking this distance right here. And we're down to like 4 meters per second in delta V remaining. So, trying to keep it centered on the maneuver node just wasn't going to work. So, let's see, I had to stop and do that a bunch of times. And a few times to get the ship realigned on the maneuver node. And it took quite a while to get all this done. But we've burned up most of the fuel remaining in this thing. So I am now going to, turn that off. I'm going to release that. And I'm going to disarm it. Alright, now let's just use a bit of thrusters. Back away and get clear of this asteroid. Turn the ship some way that, like this, and I'm going to fire what's left of the main engines to get it clear of the asteroid completely. Alright, this ship is done. We may or may not ever come back to it. Probably not. And now I'm off to the vehicle assembly building to make a redesign on this ship to send another one out to this asteroid immediately. Okay, here we are. A redesigned ARM ship, this one designated ARM 2. The main difference is up here on the main part of it up here. We've got, I've removed the radial engines that were pointing forward, and I've placed in 2 more Jumbo 64s, asparagus staged, onto the top there, so that the thing will have 3 times as much fuel, delta V and so on, when it gets to where it's going. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Definitely. Alright, now go ahead and set this up and get it ready to go. And I'm going to head 0 degrees for a polar launch, because I've been reading in the KSP forums, and for this kind of a situation, I'm thinking a polar launch is going to be best. Now let's get out here. Oh, get out of my way. Where's the asteroid? Don't tell me that thing's gone and disappeared on me. Asteroid set as target. Yeah, you see its course here. If I take off in a pretty much a polar orbit, then I can get my course set up to go that way. Let's have a look at our nav ball. Yeah, I'm going to take a polar orbit, and from there get lined up with rendezvousing with this thing, ideally before it reaches Kerbal Sphere of Influence in 7 days, and finish getting it turned into something that will enter the atmosphere and do an aerobraking. So that's the plan. Let's see about executing that plan. So we just throttle up and let's go. Okay, looking good. I'm going to put my delta V stats up here so that I can use that for gauging when to stage. Alright. Camera to free mode and execute here. And by the way, you'll notice that I've gone ahead and put in the visual enhancements thing, the city lights and clouds, because it does make things look a lot better. I'm considering the idea of adding other mods over the next few episodes sometime soon, such as I've been actually thinking about putting in the KSP Interstellar mod pack with all of the goodies and whatnot available there, and additional science that you can get, and so on, and a few others. I've thought about extraplanetary launch pads and a few others that I can't think of right now because I'm on the spot, but you know how it is. Okay. Relative inclination is going to be not NA until the ship and the target are in the same orbit, but that's okay. I've got this indicator here. I think maybe I need to turn that direction a little bit. Yeah. Let's get our heading. Let's start with 315. And go to 80 degrees. Yeah, the city lights thing especially adds a little bit of detail to the planet that is really, really kind of good. Okay, staging. Late, but clean. Pitch to 70. All right. looking like a good launch. I'm going to refrain from pitching over any more until after staging these, because I've noticed in test flights and a test save that if I'm not careful to have the ship pointing prograde when they stage, then the central engine can be knocked off. Okay, staging. Nice clean separation. Pitching down to 45 degrees now. All right. Looks like we'll have a good clean orbit. Speaking of which, okay, off the ascending node, the number is getting better. Slowly, but it is. All right, that's what I needed to know. All right, let's move this back to 300. Change our pitch to 35. And deploy solar panels before I forget to. Okay, the difference on the ascending node is continuing to drop. This is good. And let's go down to 25 degrees. As a matter of fact, let's go to the horizon. Concentrate on horizontal velocity here. This is a launch unlike any I've tried before, but it seems to be working. Looks like 300 is the right course. It's pretty much lined up with that. Our prograde marker is coming around. Staging. Nice and clean separation. Good. Okay, the difference on ascending node is continuing to drop. This is good. This will make our plane change burn that much easier later on.